So this is a public statement because I'm in a public place and I'm the public. In fact, my name is Peggy Hall and I'm from thehealthyamerican.org, and I am at what's called a California certified farmers market. This market is overseen by the California Department of Agriculture. That is a government agency. And in the state of California, and actually in the United States, there are policies, actually laws. See, I'm already getting confused. There are laws that protect our right to be in public. And unless I have a restraining order against me from a court, or unless I have a court order quarantine against me, or unless I have a court that has ordered me to wear a mask, I don't have to wear a mask, and you don't have to wear a mask. Not only do I not have to wear a mask, you see, the market manager won't talk to me. I came here specifically with information to share with the market manager, so I'm just making a public announcement for those who would like to educate themselves. So the notice, it's a public notice, it's a legal notice and a warning to vendors and the manager at the farmers market that you are hereby notified that state and federal laws make it a crime to deny the rights of a citizen. You can be arrested for this crime and you can be held personally liable for civil and criminal damages. The civil damages in California range from $12,000 to $25,000 each time you violate the rights of a citizen. Yeah, that's in California law. The fees may vary, the fines may vary in your state, even if they do so without intent, even if they didn't know that they were violating my rights. So to reiterate, I have the right to be in public without a mask, and I have the right to be served at a farmer's market. Even if it's a private business, I have the right to be served. So these individuals that are denying anyone, I actually have produce, right? I went shopping. Look, I've got eggs, and I've got celery, and I've got persimmons, which I love, and I've got pears, because that individual did not want to be sued for violating my civil rights. They're very friendly. So even if they do so unintentionally, they are still liable for this crime. As a vendor at the California Certified Farmers Market, you are bound by law to follow the regulations of the California Department of Food and Agriculture Code. Section 4700 starts some of those laws, and 1392 of the California Codes and Regulations, which prohibit discrimination and requires, and I quote, that selling activities are conducted honestly and fairly. It is not fair for someone to be served and me not to be served just because of my religion. Maybe it's because of my age, or maybe it's because of my gender, but they may not unlawfully discriminate against me. There is no law requiring anyone to wear a mask. No one is required to wear a mask, not the vendors and not the public. These vendors cannot lose their vendor license. And this egregious action, who I am going to file a formal complaint to the district attorney because she is harassing the vendors by telling them that they will lose their license if they serve to somebody without a mask. It's a lie, and that's a crime. And to coerce someone to commit a crime is another crime. And that's called a conspiracy of rights. Now we're no longer talking about fines. Now we're talking about prison. We're talking about a crime against the state. It's a federal crime. It's a felony. So that's going to be elevated when she coerces someone else to violate the law. And you say, I came here at the end of the day not to bother, or the end of the market time, because I didn't want to interfere with anybody's selling. You are not trespassing if you are in a public place without ill intent. I'm not interfering with anything, and they actually are leaving me alone, as they should by law. The market manager and the governor and the mayor and this poor ignorant fool, well, I didn't mean to say fool, this poor ignorant person didn't realize that no manager can make a law, no governor can make a law. The governor and mayor has no authority to tell you who you can or can't sell to. In fact, California Civil Code 51 requires you by law to offer equal access, services, goods, and privileges to every single shopper. Hey, this is the first time for me, you guys. I kind of been doing a protest, aren't I? I never really do protests. I'm just doing a public service announcement. These vendors can lose their license if they refuse service to someone without a mask. Now that is a violation of the law. But serving someone without a mask is not a violation of the law. I'm so sad that these people are living in fear and ignorance perpetrated by the market manager, who is going to get a complaint against her. There's a formal document that I'm going to fill out, and it goes to the Department of Agriculture, which oversees this market. They're ignorant even of their own requirements in running this. They are prohibited by state and federal laws to deny service to any member of the public, regardless of whether they are wearing a mask or a facial concealment device, which is a medical device. No one has the right to tell you to put a medical device on your face unless it is a doctor, and even then, you have the right to refuse that medical treatment. The masks have never been there's no proof that it works, therefore it is a medical experiment, and you're participating in a clinical trial without your consent, and that is a crime. They're violating so many, they're creating so many crimes, committing so many crimes. You see, I'm getting tongue-tied now. I'm so upset by this. Preventing a member of the public from shopping at one of these stalls, one of these vendor stalls, is an issue of false imprisonment. Now we're talking about a crime. We're no longer talking about a civil rights violation. This is now called false imprisonment, which is why they can't tell me to leave. That they cannot restrict my movement in a public place. Well, Peggy, it's a private market. That's the definition of a public accommodation. A private business that is open to the public. They're doing commerce. I have the right to be here like anyone else, except if there is a court order quarantine against me. I have no restraining order against me. This is awesome. Now the market manager is filming me and I'm filming her. I hope you'll watch this again. I think her name is Trish. I hope you'll watch this again and again to know your laws and your rights, because you are getting a charge against you because you would not speak to me. You are harassing these vendors by telling them not to serve to people wearing a mask. That is a crime. You are coercing them to engage in false imprisonment. I continue. The vendors and the market manager will be liable for a crime. Now I'm speaking to her now since she wants to film me. Will be liable for a crime and criminal violation if you restrain a person from shopping at your stall. That is called false imprisonment. Most people don't know that. It's false imprisonment to tell somebody where to stand, where to go, and to prevent them from equal access, which is required by law. What if I was in a wheelchair? Are you going to tell me I can't shop here? What if I was wearing a turban? Are you going to make somebody in a wheelchair get up and walk to the stall? Are you going to make somebody wearing a turban take off the turban as a condition of entry? Are you going to make me snort a line of cocaine in order to buy from you? You have no legal authority to do so. No governor can make a law. No mayor can make a law. No market manager can violate the law without consequences. This market has a legal definition as a public accommodation. It therefore is open to all members of the public, regardless of their age, their gender, their ethnicity, their medical condition, or their religious beliefs. It is unlawful to discriminate against an individual for whatever reason, their age, their gender, their ethnicity. It is illegal. Many of these vendors have come here from other countries. They moved to this country for freedom, and they're so ignorant of the law. I'm here to help educate them. They think that a mayor can open his mouth or a governor can issue an order, and that's the law. It couldn't be further from the truth. There is no law regarding masks. Look at these wonderful, healthy Americans here. So I'm doing my presentation because she won't listen to me. According to law, any private business, every private business engaged in commerce is a public accommodation, and it is required to serve the public. The only way it doesn't serve the public is if I am deemed a direct threat. And that's what they're going to say, that I'm a threat to the public. Well, guess what? That has to be proven in a court of law. You don't just say it. There has to be an individualized assessment done on me by a medical doctor who has determined that I'm carrying some disease. And further, that has to go to a court of law, and they have to get the court-issued order of quarantine against me. Otherwise, no one can deny me service lawfully or legally. I continue, and I'm going to have all this information at thehealthyamerican.org. If you're watching this live, give me an hour or so to put all this up on the website, and I want to probably do another video where I'm not so, upset here. Here's the law. Okay, this is federal law. Section 30.104 and Section 36.102B3 it's the definition of a direct threat. This comes from Title III of the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964. This is a law that no mayor, no governor, no market manager has the authority to violate, and it is this: no one is a direct threat to the health and safety of this business unless there is evidence of such a threat. There has to be an individual assessment that relies on current medical knowledge. I'm reading the law right here. In determining whether an individual poses a direct threat to the health and safety of others, a public accommodation must make an individualized assessment based on reasonable judgment that relies on current medical knowledge. They have not done that, so we have the right to be here. And anyone who is not selling to me or any of these other beautiful Americans, healthy Americans, they are in violation of civil and criminal law. They are violating several laws if they refuse service to any member of the public. No member of the public may be isolated. Friends, when are you going to get that through your minds? No one has the right to tell you where to be. I can't tell her to stand there and her not to. There is no law that allows that unless you have a court order, quarantine or isolation or a restraining order against you. Title VII of the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964 makes it a crime to harass a patron or employee of the market. This market manager is in violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act by harassing these market vendors and telling them, making them afraid that they are going to lose their seller's permit if they sell to someone without a mask. It's the exact opposite. They'll lose their seller's permit if they discriminate against someone without a mask. She's exactly upside down. It's the exact wrong of that. So here you go. No governor can make a law. There are no stay-at-home orders that are enforceable by law. The tiers of this purple nonsense is unlawful. There just was a court ruling a few days ago that stated that the governor has no authority to make law. These people are ignorant of the law. Study the law. It's in your favor. I'm here to protect you, my friend. And he's telling me that, wear a mask if you want to. I hope you wear 3, 4, 5 masks for the rest of your life. I don't have to. And there's no law that makes me, and I'm not going to. And I may not be denied service. You can get a criminal fine against anyone who does not serve a member of the public. Yes, please videotape this. I want this to go far and wide. This market manager has no authority to coerce any seller to not sell to an individual. That is criminal. It is called coercion. It is called a conspiracy against your rights, your personal liberty. I'm sorry, you guys. I know I'm moving the phone around. Thank you. You are the only way, friends who sell at the market, the only way that you are in violation of the law is if you refuse service to someone in a mask. Otherwise, you're not in violation of the law. There is no law regarding masks. You don't have to wear one if you don't want to. It's a personal choice. Wearing a mask is like wearing a baseball cap or that's right. No one has to wear a mask at this market ever, and none of these vendors may prevent you from shopping. I have the files right here. I'm going to bring a microphone. I have the files next time where you can make your complaint against a vendor any vendor who doesn't sell to you, you can make a formal complaint against them and they will be investigated by the Department of Agriculture. Because we live in a society by laws, not by guidelines. That's right. A private place is called a public accommodation. No, why?
Don't fucking come mess it up for us.
Do you mind?
We're here in business trying to make a living.
Okay,
so we're here trying to make a living.
Perfect.
We're following the law so we don't get shut down. We have bills to pay.
Who's going to shut you down?
Your freedom stops when it affects my freedom. Keep that in mind.
Who's going to shut you down? Answer one question. You just made a statement.
Are you out of this world? Do you not see the news? Do you not hear that from the
problem.
health department?
You're watching the news.
Go watch we go by the health department laws.
I'm telling you, the health department here, my friend. He won't take the documents. This guy right here won't take the documents. This guy won't take the...
That doesn't mean shit.
This is from the Department of California.
Every day.
My friends, I'm glad you heard from him. Yes, I am. It is my business. I'm in the business of civil rights.
Creating problems.
Oh, did you?
You don't want to wear. Yeah, you don't want to wear the mask. No problem.
I just want to tell you, he came to this country from another country. Yes, you did.
Racist. I'm fucking born here.
Oh, really?
What's your fucking language?
Oh, well, please forgive me.
How can you fucking assume I'm from another country?
Because of your accent.
You're so racist. Accent?
You're racist against me.
I have an accent now?
Doesn't he have an accent? Oh, yeah.
You're so racist. You're so fucking racist.
Here is what happens, friend. Here is what happens when people wear a mask. They lose their oxygen, and they lose their ability to think rationally. And I get so passionate also because I have the information. I'm so glad. I'm so glad about that because I want to protect. He doesn't understand I'm here to protect him. I am here to protect his rights from being shut down. I am here to protect his rights from this market manager's harassment. And sadly, you heard him. He said he watches the news. I have documents from the government right here that he doesn't want to see. That's the level of ignorance that we're dealing with. Yeah, you can. I want to help you. I want to help you. Why?
The restaurant got shut down.
I help people stay open.
And make a living. And you know what? This is the only money I can do here.
That's right.
To feed my family.
That's right. I want to give you money.
And just because the people like you that don't want to follow directions, you put it in
directions are not a law. I want to give you money. I'm here to give you money. Look, I bought 3 bags worth of food. I want to give you money. I'm here to help you, my friend.
But the thing is that we have rules over here.
No, they're not laws. They're not laws. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The rules are wrong. Would you punch that man in the face?
I respect whatever you think, but you have to respect us.
I'm here to help you, my friend.
And you have to respect. I'm not a friend of you.
She's not a friend of me.
No.
This is so sad. Do you see what they're doing in our society? They are dividing us in our society now. I am here to help the people with documents to prevent them from being harassed by this tyrant. Because a tyrant, the definition of a tyrant is someone who uses authority without, who uses power without authority. This market manager who refuses to speak to me, where I have essential, yes, I'm using that word, information about the laws that she is requiring this poor lady to violate. She's going to put you out of business, not me. That's right. You see how ignorant the people are of the law. They don't understand the law. And I have the law here for them. And instead they're operating out of fear. They think that this woman who has zero authority to tell them who to sell to has the authority. And I'm not ruining anything. I'm here to help you. I want to give you money. I love how she keeps talking about directions. Directions are not a law. Now, I don't want to assume that she's from another country. I'm not going to assume that anymore. The reason I state that is that they come to another country for freedom. They're coming to the United States for freedom, but then they want to live under their communist rule that they left. They want to live under the totalitarian, my phone is about to die. They want to live under the totalitarian regime that they fled, and that's why I mentioned the point about them coming here. Look, I lived in other countries. I have an accent when I speak French. That doesn't mean anything to me. It's a fact. And these people that have come from other countries, they're here because they want the freedom, and now they're giving their freedom away. All right, those are actually people supporting me. These vendors don't want to wear masks either, and they're welcome to wear a mask. It's so difficult to get information out to people who don't want to hear it. I am here to help them make money. And then they're saying that I'm here to prevent them from making money. You see, friends, that is the exact definition of evil. Evil seeks to destroy good. The dark seeks to extinguish the light. We came here in light and love and truth and freedom. We have information. I have laws. These are actual laws. She's talking about directions. What's a direction? A direction means nothing. You want to you operate according to the law. And beautifully, there are vendors here who will sell to those without a mask. And they don't understand that the government has no authority to tell, like, these poor people, they don't have to wear a mask. It's actually sad. And they don't have oxygen, and they can't think. And I can't hear them anyway, what they're saying. So anyway, I'm glad I was here to make my public statement because we are the public. We have the right to be here. It's actually a parking lot. We have the right to be here in public. The only time you don't have the right to be in public is if you have a court order, restraining order against you. So just to say, private businesses are considered public accommodations when they're engaged in commerce. If they're going to sell you something and take your money, or they're going to give you a service, that's the definition of a public accommodation. This, what we're seeing today, is exactly why these laws exist, so that all of us are not going to be discriminated against. Imagine if I was in a wheelchair and they told me I can't come because I'm in a wheelchair. Imagine they wanted me to wear a turban in order to shop here. Or what if I do wear a turban and they told me to take it off? That's illegal. What if they told me I have to snort a line of cocaine before they're going to sell me the persimmons? They can't do that. What if the governor told them to make me punch Granny in the face? They're going to require me to do that? It's illegal. This is all illegal. And the sad thing is, the brainwashing is complete, as you saw from these vendors. They are out of their minds with anger because they're sheep wearing a freaking muzzle on their face, and they're angry that we're not, and we are oxygen breathers. That's the bottom line. They're being punished, and they want others to be punished. Instead of saying, hey, what laws do you have here that might protect me? Thank you for coming and spending your hours of research to come help me on the laws that actually will protect me. Instead of saying thank you, you saw what they did. Now, I actually should call the cops on that guy who was harassing me because he was getting all like big up in me. That's called harassment and intimidation. And I admit I lost my temper. I really should not do that, because the only time they can call the cops is if there's a disturbance of the peace. So we don't want to cross that line. I probably was a little close to it, but it's out of passion. It's not out of, it's not out of violence, and that's kind of the dividing line. Now, here's a wonderful vendor. She doesn't even wear a mask. She always sells to me. I'm going to keep coming. I am always going to come to this market, and if you want to, it's Fridays. I'm usually here around 12:30. So that's it, you guys. I'm going to wrap up. I know this was a long one, but yeah, don't comply. It's ridiculous. I have every single law that I have been I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning last night researching these laws. Here you go. It is against the law in California. I have it right here. California law prohibits discrimination in the workplace. It's probably reversed. These vendors are protected from illegal harassment by this market manager that still has her back to me and will not talk to me. So that's going to get an official letter to her boss, which is the district manager for the California Certified Farmers Markets, and then there is the secretary for the Department of Agriculture, and I know they're all politicians. You guys are going to say, what good does that do, Peggy? They're all politicians. Well, maybe somebody reading it has a brain. And at least there's legal remedies. And I have this whole document, the discrimination and harassment prevention policy for the California Department of Food and Agriculture. It is illegal what they're doing. It's illegal on so many levels. Further, I am going to file an actual, and I will give everybody these links. You can file, anybody that goes to a farmer's market in California and you get harassed, and even if you're a vendor, especially if you're a vendor, you file this report of harassment against that market manager. They may not take your seller's permit unless you are doing in violation of an actual regulation. There is no law for masks. How many more times do I have to say it, friends? I'm going to sign off now. God bless you. Keep up the work. I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop. I hope you don't.